Alrighty, welcome back. It's me, Tiger Stripe. Welcome to the channel. If you've seen the last video, then you know exactly what we're getting into. And if not, and this is your first video on the channel that you've seen because of the title or what have you, then today what we're going to be talking about is the Eidolon hunt from more of a mid-player perspective. So with that being said, today we're using the amp that I usually use, which is the 223 amp. Now, if you would like for me to make another video about what that number mean, and I know it might be a little bit confusing as a new player, somebody's just shouting all of these random numbers to you, I can do that. Let me know in the comment section. I'd be more than happy to go over all of that in detail. But for now, I'm utilizing a 223 brace, which I named Biscuit. And this is a gilded amp as well. We are not going to be utilizing any arcanes, nor are we using an arcane for our amp. Now, with that said, in the previous video, we also used Zeneric. This is, again, me coming from a perspective of you knowing a little bit about what's going on. So we switched from Zeneric and we switched to Uniru. Now, Uniru is the main reason that we're using this is for something called Uniru Wisp. Now, Uniru Wisp, a Void Blast has a 100% chance to summon a Wisp when it damages an enemy. The Wisp can be picked up by allies to increase operator damage by 100% for 12 seconds. Now, mind you, it's 100% for 12 seconds because we leveled it all the way up to max. It's not going to be 100% at level 1. And in order to access this, we had to open up Magnetic Blast, which all of this is going to cost focus. If you would like to see more detail on this as well, let me know in the comments. I'd be more than happy to go over all of this for you as well. Now, with that said, again, going from Zeneric, we're going to imagine that you know how to unbind those passives from Zeneric. So we're actually going to turn those on. So Zeneric is giving us Void Flow, which is increasing our operator energy by 90%, and Void Siphon, which is increasing the operator energy regeneration by 90% as well. Great for the Eidolon fight. Now, Basilisk Scales and Basilisk Gaze is also doing something incredible for us as well. So it's increasing the operator armor by 200% at max level, and the Basilisk Gaze, which is increasing our Void Blast radius by 60%, which is great for Uniru Wisp. So we're going to go ahead and commit to those changes, and then we are going to go into detail about our Warframe. So we're still sticking with Vault. This is, again, from a mid-player perspective. The build is not by any means something that I will go into the fight with as a veteran player. So please keep that in mind when watching this video. Now, this is me assuming maybe you've had a fight or two under your belt and you know what you're getting into. I went with a level 1 Arcane Nullifier here, which is a 17% chance to resist magnetic status effect. And we also have Guardian, which is rank 2, which is providing an 8% chance for 450 armor for 20 seconds when damaged. Now, keep in mind with this build, what we're doing is we're building for the electric shield. So we need duration and we also need efficiency. That way, when we put it up, when we shoot through it, we're not wasting too much energy placing shields around. Next up, our Rubico, which is what we used before. We found a couple mods. You know, new players, we end up finding a couple mods as we go through the game, and we put those mods on our weapons, right? That's what we do. So we have Serration, we have Split Chamber, Point Strike, Vital Sense, and Shred. I'll get into Radiation soon. So not only do we have the crit chance and critical damage combo together, it is a crit weapon. That's what we're going with. We have our extra damage from Serration, we have our multi-shot, and we also have our extra fire rate. Now, what's important with Radiation is it's a little bit more susceptible to damage through radiation due to its armor type. We can go into more detail in that when we reach that veteran level video that I plan on putting out as well. Next up, our Lex Prime also got a couple extra mods on it. We are not actually going to be utilizing this because, again, we're not at that level just yet. So we're going to actually take off our Prime mods as well. So let's go ahead and put on Pistol Gambit, and we're also going to put on our Target Cracker as well. Again, we're just mid-level right now. We're not doing that, okay? And then we are going to grab our carrier. There we go. We're going to keep it here with the new player carrier. All right, so next up, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to start the fight. Alrighty, so we're out here in the plains of Eidolon, and it sounds like the Teralyst is over here to our right. We only have 5 minutes of nighttime left, so what we're going to do is we're going to try to speed through it a bit. Now, what we need is we at least need a lure, at least one. Let's go ahead and hack it. We already have our Vonvolus here. Notice that we're able to actually just use our amp this time. We're getting stronger. We're leveling up. We do not need to use primary weapons. And it looked like this time the Eidolon lures are showing the charge. So note how I'm just going to go ahead and kill this one. Note how the charges look on the antennas. So we need one more charge in order for it to be fully charged. And there you have it. You can actually see it. So let's go on out here to the Eidolon Teralyst. It sounds like, here he is. All right, so from here on out, we're going to start calling the Teralyst Terry. Just easier to say. It looked like it might be stuck in place. I can't do anything about this. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our shield. And what we're utilizing Unairu Wisp for, which is this thing right here. It's very hard to see. That right there is increasing our operator damage. So let's go ahead and set up our shield. And you'll notice from the last video to now just how much damage we're doing. We're doing so much more damage. We're actually prepared for this fight. Didn't do it fast enough, but that's okay. Keep in mind we aren't using any arcanes for our operator just yet, but we do have armor, which is making us a little bit tankier. Again, red means dead, but this is where we can finally start dealing some damage. So let's go ahead and take out our Rubico. Looks like we have a couple Vonvolus here trying to bully us. It's already going so much faster. So what we're going to do is we're going to let our lure sit here as we run away to hold down that lure or the Eidolon in place. By keeping that Eidolon lure there, the Teralyst can't go anywhere. But keep in mind, you do have to activate it again for it to follow you. Let's go ahead and collect our Wisp. Looks like we're going to die here shortly. Let's mitigate that damage. Now this right here can be very, very annoying because it didn't happen in the last video, and I'm actually glad that it's happening now. So any nearby Vonvolusts that are around the Teralyst, what's happening is there's this connection to it, and it's replenishing the sentient shield. What you want to do, you can't do anything to the Eidolon Teralyst until you handle the Vonvolusts that are connected to it. So let's just go ahead and get rid of all of those. Now we end up having to do more And the longer you let this go, the higher that shield will go up. So now we have our work cut out for us again. Sorry. Keep in mind when you walk over this blue blood, that is from the synovia joint. So that's what's dealing damage to you. If you're wondering where it's coming from, maybe you cleared all the Vombalists and you're not sure what the hell's going on. That's what's happening. Alrighty, so now we had to work double time. Let's go ahead and work on a joint. There's no particular order to this. Pick a joint, any joint, as long as it's popped. So it's buffing Vombalist damage. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and ask our lure to sit here. And we're getting out of dodge. You do not want to be in that magnetic proc. Not only will it sap your energy, it will also deal a lot of damage to you. So let's go ahead and clear up the Vombalists. We want to protect our lure. We like it. It's helping us here. Let's grab our wisps. There we go. So now whenever you see red, red means dead, which means now we can pop a joint. There we go. And there we go. So we don't actually have to grab our lure since it's pretty much in the same spot. We're just going to get out of dodge. There we go. Let's go ahead and clean up our Vombalists a bit. We are probably going to die here, but that's okay. There's no limit to coming back into your operator form. Buffing nearby Vombalists to deal increased damage. Keep that in mind. There we go. Red means dead, so now we get to shoot a joint. Again, blue, any Vombalist that you see connected to it, you want to kill it. We don't want to waste our time here. And it looks like it's pretty much daytime, which is why we lost our lure. That's okay. In fact, Quill Uncle's going to tell us that shortly. Looks like it might be retreating, actually. Alright, so at this stage, what's going to happen is nearby Vombalists are going to try to heal the Eidolon Teralyst. And we don't want that. But it might be a bit difficult to do because not only is it just a solo player hunt, but they're probably going to end up... It's hard for us to cover the entire 360 radius, but you can try. And at this point now, we can finally just deal damage to the Teralyst, which we're going to do through headshots. Again, shooting through the shield for increased damage. This is probably going to take a while, but we've got nothing to lose here. This is probably going to hurt. buffing nearby Vomulus to deal increased damage. This is okay. It's totally fine. That form of retaliation hurts the most. We're super close to getting it, everyone. Oh no, the worst. The worst has happened. Clean up those Vomulus ASAP. We don't want to waste time here. Again, it's making our job that much harder because we have to go right back into a method that we thought we were done with. There we go. We might be able to get it. Oh, we might be able to get it. It isn't near the water just yet. Keep in mind though, this will count as a kill and not a capture, which we can go over in another video if you'd like. There we go. We did it. So let me know in the comments what your fastest time was as a mid-tier player. If you were able to capture the entire Teralyst, if you ended up killing it, if you ended up dying because you tried your hardest, which, you know, you can't be mad at that. I just tried my hardest, but I unfortunately ran out of time, and these things happen. So keep in mind you want to go ahead and scoop up all of your cores here. Farm is farm. Let's go ahead out here and grab these as well. We don't want to hurt the cats. I like cats. We're going to let them live. So let's go ahead and get on out of here. Now, with that said, through farming the Eidolons, what you're going to do is you're going to pick up something known as an arcane. Those arcanes can help better your gameplay through installing them on Warframes. And this one, let's see what we got. Since we got a kill, it's not going to give us the best, but Arcane Consequence on a headshot will give us a 25% chance for 10% parkour velocity for 3 seconds. It's not the best, but it is an arcane. Not only that, we picked up something known as an Eidolon Shard, which I can totally go into explanation about in another video if you'd like for me to. And not only that, we got a decent farm here for core. So with that said, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. I'd like to know what you all thought about the video, and I'll catch you all again in the next one.